From riches to rags, the story of Venezuela's economic collapse. Venezuela was once one of the wealthiest countries in Latin America, boasting the world's largest oil reserves in a booming economy. But today it is a nation in economic ruin, suffering from hyperinflation, food shortages, and mass migration. How did a country so rich in resources fall into crisis? This is the story of Venezuela's dramatic collapse, a journey from prosperity to poverty. In the early 20th century, Venezuela discovered massive oil reserves, transforming it into one of the world's largest oil producers. By the 1970s, oil exports made Venezuela one of the richest nations in Latin America, with a strong middle class and a high standard of living. Oil wealth funded free education, healthcare, and infrastructure. The country attracted foreign investors and had a booming economy. Caracas, the capital, was known as the Paris of South America. But this prosperity was built on oil, and when oil prices dropped, trouble began. In 1999, Hugo Chavez, a former military officer, became president. Chavez nationalized industries, expanded social programs, and used oil money to fund free services. His government relied heavily on oil exports, and when prices were high, the economy thrived. However, he discouraged private businesses, took control of industries, and made the country dependent on oil. Corruption grew, and the economy became fragile. By the time Chavez died in 2013, Venezuela was already struggling, but things got much worse under his successor, Nicolas Maduro. Hyperinflation. The government printed too much money, making prices skyrocket. A cup of coffee that once cost 50 cents could cost millions of bolivars overnight. Food and medicine shortages. Imports stopped, and store shelves became empty. People lined up for hours to buy basic goods. Oil industry collapse. With no maintenance and corruption, Venezuela's oil production crashed, cutting off the main source of income. Mass migration. Over 7 million Venezuelans fled the country to escape poverty, hunger, and violence. Inflation reached over 1,000,000%, making money worthless. Electricity blackouts and water shortages are common. Hospitals lack medicine, and people struggle to find food. Crime and violence have risen, making cities dangerous. Despite small economic improvements in recent years, Venezuela has never fully recovered. The country, once a symbol of wealth in Latin America, is now a cautionary tale of mismanagement, corruption, and economic failure.